U.S. warns Iran from stonewalling IAEA. The United States threatened future action against Iran at the nuclear watchdog if Iran keeps stonewalling the IAEA by denying it the cooperation and answers it seeks on issues including long-unexplained uranium traces. At a quarterly meeting of the IAEA 35-nation Board of Governors, Washington again told Iran to cooperate with IAEA inspectors who have been seeking explanations from Tehran on the origin of uranium particles at undeclared sites. The United States has stopped short of seeking a resolution against Iran. However, diplomats have cited the US presidential election as a reason Washington has been reluctant to take actions. Tehran bristles at such resolutions and often responds by stepping up its activities. We believe we have come to the point that we and the broader international community must consider some respond to Iran's continued stonewalling, the United States said to the board meeting. We cannot allow Iran's current behavior to continue. It is now over a year since the last board resolution against Iran, which ordered it to cooperate urgently with the investigation into the particles. Tehran dismissed the resolution as political and anti-Iranian, even though only China and Russia opposed it. The United States and its allies, Britain, France, and Germany opted against seeking a resolution against Iran at this week's meeting, but the United States said that if Iran did not provide the necessary cooperation soon, it would act. It is our strongly held view that Iran's continuing lack of credible cooperation provides grounds for pursuing further Board of Governors action, including the possibility of additional resolutions and consideration of whether Iran is once again in non-compliance with its safeguards obligations, it added. In 2018, then President Donald Trump pulled the United States out of a 2015 deal under which major powers lifted sanctions against Iran in exchange for restrictions on its nuclear activities. After sanctions were reimposed by United States, Tehran possibly reacted and expanded those activities far beyond the deal's limits. Since April 2021, Iran has supposedly enriched uranium to up to 60% purity, close to the roughly 90% of weapons grade, and far above the deal's cap of 3.67%. While Iran says its aims are entirely peaceful and it has the right to enrich to high levels for civil purposes only, the United States said Iran should comply with the IAEA with cooperation including access for the purposes of collecting environmental samples, and it must begin to do so immediately. If it did not, it would ask IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi to provide a comprehensive report on Iran's nuclear activities more wide-ranging than his regular quarterly ones, it said. Then, based on the content of that report, we will take appropriate action in support of the IAEA and the global nuclear non-proliferation regime, it added. Meanwhile, France, Germany, and the UK gave a joint statement to the IAEA Board of Governors on Iran's implementation of its nuclear commitments under the JPOA. They asked the Director General to keep the Board of Governors informed on the status of Iran's nuclear program well in advance of the next meeting in June 2024. Regrettably, the IAEA's report again confirms that Iran continues on its escalatory path, an increasing violation of its JPOA commitments, the E3 said. The three countries affirmed that Iran continues to refuse to reverse the de-designation of agency inspectors and is failing to implement the joint statement of March 4, 2023. These actions cast reasonable doubt on Iran's willingness to fully live up to its obligation and commitment to cooperate with the IAEA. The E3 statement noted. The latest report issued by Grossi said, Iran's total stock of nuclear material stands at 27 times the limit agreed in the 2015 JPOA nuclear deal, well above the levels of compliance. Also, the nuclear watchdog said in a confidential report to member states, last week that Iran's stock of uranium, enriched to up to 60%, had fallen slightly in the past quarter as it had diluted or downblended more of its most highly enriched material than it had produced. As for the E3 countries, they believe the recent slight reduction of the stockpile of uranium enriched up to 60% should not lead to false hope and wrong conclusions. We observe that Iran has taken no substantial action in response to the Director General's request to redesignate experienced agency inspectors, they said, reiterating their call on Iran to halt its nuclear escalation